So guys, altcoins are trading sideways. Many people are calling for altcoin season to start already. And right now, I want to give you guys a very unpopular opinion based off of where we're going to be going in the next few weeks for altcoins. Everyone thinks we're going to be ripping up, but I want to give you guys a different perspective as to what could be happening, specific indicators you need to be focusing on around the total 2 chart, Bitcoin dominance, as well as overall what could be happening. If you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. Intermediate trader, documenting my journey since the beginning of 2023, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated on the market, specific indicators around Bitcoin and altcoins, just so you can understand how liquidity and rotations happen, as well as specific altcoins to focus on to make those crazy gains. I've already made some crazy gains, and overall I want to give you guys my perspective as to what I think is going to be happening in the next few weeks for Bitcoin, for altcoins, and how you could potentially position yourself for that. Overall though, let's jump into it. So guys, the sentiment around altcoins is really crazy. Everyone's calling for alt season already. Many altcoin investors are feeling the wrath, a lot of gains based off of where we're at in this cycle. A lot of people think that we're already going to start running up, and altcoins are about to start getting the liquidity that they need to initiate altcoin season. Mustache says he hopes you enjoyed the dips and got some rest because we're going a lot higher soon, and a lot of y'all took advantage of the dip, which I congratulate y'all. We have seen some crazy gains. I am sitting quite significant in my portfolio. And he says bears can go back to bed. Zach goes on to say it's starting, the Trump effect. First the US, now others will follow. And they're talking about the US Bitcoin strategic reserve. And he's talking about how now we're going to see government versus government bidding on Bitcoin. And this is pretty much based off of the news that came out from Wu Blockchain. Japanese lawmaker Satoshi Hamada proposed that the government set up a national Bitcoin reserve and convert part of its foreign exchange reserves in Bitcoin, saying that its decentralized nature makes it suitable as a strategic asset, and mentioned that the United States and Brazil are taking similar actions. And guys, we talked about it yesterday, how Trump is talking about how he wants the US to be the leading force for AI as well as crypto, and now it's starting to get the attention from other governments, which is going to cause a bid on bid for Bitcoin, which is also causing people to say altcoin season is going to happen. But I honestly think that points to the fact that Bitcoin is going to start shooting up, and also dominance is going to start going towards that asset as well. Crypto God John goes on to say that he thinks he knows the next 100x play on AI. He goes on to give his perspective on multiple big altcoins, as well as overall his predictions on the market based off of other specific predictions from other influencers and analysts like Van Eck. Pretty much with the price action around Bitcoin, specific other altcoins like Solana, and even those lower micro caps that we're into. And the reason, guys, I'm showing you all these posts, even Alex Becker reposting the Theo Trader, Trump back in office, Q1 seasonality, Bitcoin showing strength above 100K. You really think this is it? Nah, the market is just warming up. And like how I said, I want to give you guys an unpopular opinion on what I think. What is that unpopular opinion? Well, the consensus between all of these influencers and analysts is that we're going to be shooting up super freaking hard for altcoins. And guys, that is just not the case. We see great rips and then we see pullbacks. This is something that has happened through multiple cycles, and I've been studying it on multiple different charts. But the main charts that we've been focusing on, guys, is Bitcoin dominance as well as the total 2 chart. So the total 2 chart is going to let us know how all other coins other than those top coins. If you aren't aware of the total 2 chart, go do a little bit of research, but it's going to let us know how all altcoins are pretty much doing compared to those bigger assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. So overall, whenever we're keeping up with these charts, this is where everyone starts to say, Bitcoin dominance has already reached its peak, and now it's crashing down, and as a result, altcoins are ripping up very significantly. But in this past week, we have been seeing Bitcoin dominance make a slight move. We also been keeping up with USDT dominance, Tether dominance, just because USDT dominance and Bitcoin dominance have a correlation. But overall, we have been seeing a pullback for altcoins, and the main thing that I'm trying to point to you guys is the fact that we saw something very similar to this back in the previous run, back in 2020 and 2021. We saw Bitcoin dominance peak out, and then from there it started to crash down very significantly over the course of a whole year, and then from there it ripped up huge, very significantly, which is that's what everyone thinks has happened right now. And then from there we crashed horribly. And then as you guys can see for the total 2 chart, that's whenever altcoins, after it topped out and altcoins had a deviation, it ripped up very significantly. This is where everyone thinks that we're at right now. Everyone thinks that we're just going to be shooting up very, very hard. And honestly, I'm already allocated. I got a good amount of positions, and I'm looking forward to my crypto portfolio exploding. It is already exploding, but I can't wait for it. But my opinion, guys, what I believe, I think that Bitcoin dominance still hasn't reached its all-time peak. And the reason why I say that is because I think we're more in this region for Bitcoin dominance. I believe that based off of all the liquidity that's moving into the markets, all of the new different specific things that are changing the fact that, you know, how much liquidity is moving into Bitcoin and other assets, I think that a lot of people have front-run themselves. I think that they're getting ahead, and I think that we are more than likely going to be seeing a deviation for altcoins before we see that huge ginormous rip up. And there's a few things that point to this. Benjamin Cohen talked about how, you know, back in November 2020, everyone thought Bitcoin dominance had topped. In December 2020, everyone realized it had not. And now he says in November 2024, everyone thinks Bitcoin dominance has topped. And even in December 2024, everyone thinks Bitcoin dominance has topped. But I think this needs to be changed. I think in January of 2025, that's whenever Bitcoin dominance is more likely going to be coming back. Just because a lot of assets and a lot of liquidity is going to start moving, especially with Fed cuts. This moves me into my next post from Justin Bennett. He says he's not a fundamental trader, but this is morning's MMUS PPI coming. And guys, this is data around Fed cuts and exactly what you need to know. But overall, based off of this data that is coming out, 0.4% last month's number getting revised up to 0.3% from the 0.2% based off of the forecast actual in the previous. This is not conducive to rate cuts. The Fed might cut rates by 25 BPS this month as forecasted, but in his opinion, they're going to be forced to pause in early 2025, which is what I'm talking about, guys, moving into Q1, and potentially even raise rates next year, as unlikely as that may seem. And guys, when that happens, more likely the markets might be seeing a shift, and whenever that happens, it has an effect on Bitcoin, and a lot of people try to set themselves up and hedge themselves against all that inflation that we see. Even if the Fed does cut this month, markets have priced in the 25 BPS cut, so caution is needed here. The inflation trend is pretty clear and is tracking the 1983 to 1985 inflation to perfection. Study the chart below and you'll have a good idea of what is likely to happen next. Historically, inflation comes in waves, not one-off events, guys. And this is where, you know, I just try to give you guys my perspective on what I think is going to be happening. I think that more than likely Bitcoin dominance has started to crash down, but I think that it is going to get another leg up based off of how the markets are moving, how exactly liquidity is starting to shift, how everyone is starting to position themselves, governments around Bitcoin, how bidding is going to start happening. And when that happens, guys, dominance around Bitcoin is more than likely going to be shooting up because people are going to want to get into the asset that is moving, and it's going to squeeze altcoins. We saw it back in 2020 and 2021, guys, with Bitcoin dominance. As you guys can see, everyone thought we had crashed down completely for Bitcoin dominance, and then we ripped up significantly from the course of September all the way up until January, okay? And then, as you guys can see for the total 2 chart as well, altcoins ripped down from the start. You can see that we started, apologies, I got this freaking ad right here. You can see that in 2021 we ripped up, and then we crashed down at you know, whenever everything was going, and then from there we then had our huge rip up. And this is where I believe that we're playing these zones. Now, are we, you know, already at the second point, you know, wherever we just see a small deviation and then we rip up? Maybe. This is where everyone has their own different perspectives, and this is where I give you guys my opinion. Swipe everything to the side, everything that we just discussed. Overall, guys, I'm keeping up with specific indicators around Bitcoin, around altcoins, and how they've reacted in previous cycles. And based off of all these specific sentiment around altcoins, how everything is shifting, and also the news events around a strategic Bitcoin reserve, the Fed cuts that are going to be happening, the inauguration that's going to be happening in January, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. I think a lot of people are going to start making a lot of gains moving into the holiday season. So already Christmas is going to be happening. New Year's, people are going to be with their families. People are going to be on their phones. Yes, I think a lot of people are going to start making some good gains. But moving into Q1 of 2025, that's where I believe we're going to start to see a shift. I've been talking about how on this YouTube channel right now we need more information. We need more data to really determine where we're going to be going. Everyone is skeptical. Either you're super bullish on the fact that altcoin season is going to start, or you're someone like me and you're thinking, you know, everyone is cheering and calling for, you know, the parade already, but I really believe that there might be a storm coming. A slight storm might be coming before, and someone like me wants to just stack up on that side capital, because the moment that everything does start to actually crash really, really hard, I want to be able to position myself very, very significantly as opposed to everybody else that, you know, kind of got front run on it. But overall, guys, that's my perspective on currently what's going on in the markets. Bitcoin dominance is the specific, you know, indicator you really need to be focused on. The news events that are happening that are causing, you know, the price action around Bitcoin to change, how altcoin investors are feeling the sentiment around it, and also where the liquidity is moving. Right now, I said I need more data. I want to see more data to really determine where we're going to be going. No one really knows what is going to be happening, and only in the next few weeks, once we start to see price action take place, are we really going to understand what is happening and where everything is going to be going. But if you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I'm an intermediate trader documenting my journey since 2023, showing you guys my wins, my losses, and overall keeping you guys updated on specific indicators and charts around Bitcoin, altcoin, specific sectors to focus on, and just how to be profitable in this 2024-2025 crypto bull run. Right now, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Keeping up with the day-to-day events is very, very crucial, just because in the next 6 months, we're going to start seeing a crazy shift in wealth. And if you position yourself correctly, guys, you're going to be able to make a whole bunch of money. And I'm going to be talking about it in my next videos pretty much this weekend. I want to talk about a updated perspective on my portfolio, the specific altcoins you need to be focused on, and exactly how I think you're going to be able to make those crazy gains to, you know, potentially become a millionaire in this 2024-2025 crypto bull run. But guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my perspective, what I think about the markets. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Do you think altcoin season is going to happen? Do you think Bitcoin dominance is going to come back and bite us in the ass? Let me know what you think is going to be happening, because I love to hear everyone's perspective, and I love to keep learning and overall hear what y'all have to say. But if you're new to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe, keep updated with the channel. I drop daily content every day, so stay tuned, and hopefully I catch you in the next one. Peace.